This is the world's first sustainable floating city. In 2023, South Korea will begin construction of a floating city that could house 12,000 people. At the UN offices in New York, the first model of a floating city that could adapt to sea level rise was just unveiled. Oceanics, a South Korean corporation, aims to offer cutting-edge solutions to coastal communities that are at risk due to climate change and the lack of suitable land. A neighborhood of 12,000 people would live on the three interconnected platforms, which together total 15.5 acres. It's only one of several strategies being created to deal with the escalating issue of sea level rise. Housing the growing global population is one of the largest issues facing policymakers today, which is made more challenging by climate change. 570 cities and more than 800 million people may be at risk from sea level rise by 2050, according to the C40 network of global cities combating climate change, if emissions aren't decreased. These people reside in more than 800 million different cities. The network estimates that the cost of rising sea levels and inland floods by the middle of the century might exceed $1 trillion. However, it is hoped that this sustainable floating city prototype would contribute in some way to solving the problem of providing safe housing for disadvantaged coastal populations. The initial first floating city in history. Solutions to global challenges. The Oceanics Busan, a vessel based in the vicinity of the second largest city in South Korea, was recently unveiled at the UN headquarters in New York. It involves a collaboration between Unhabitat, the Busan metropolitan city, and the blue technology company Oceanics, based in New York. We are unable to solve today's issues using yesterday's solutions. We must come up with original answers to the problems of the world. To ensure that nobody and no place is left behind, let's be inclusive and equitable in our pursuit of innovation. Construction on the floating city, which will consist of three connected platforms totaling 15.5 acres, is scheduled to begin in 2023. 12,000 people would live there at first, and afterwards 100,000. A protected lagoon that can be used for boating activities is created by the link-span bridges that join each of the platforms to the ground. Living, research, and housing are the three distinct purposes served by each platform. Floating city design has sustainability built in. Sustainable design is yet another important component. Oceanics Busan has 6 integrated systems concentrating on energy, food, water, waste, mobility, and coastal habitat regeneration to ensure that the floating metropolis reuses and wastes as little as possible. Rooftop and floating photovoltaic panels will generate all the city's operational energy. The production of food in urban farms, resource reduction and recycling efforts, and water treatment and replenishment systems will all be unique to each neighborhood. Floating into the future. The concept of building a floating city includes more than just Busan. In September 2021, King Willem-Alexander of the Netherlands officially opened the mobile, carbon-neutral floating office Rotterdam. Construction on the Maldives floating city is planned to start this year as well. The Indian Ocean archipelago is one of the most climate-vulnerable nations, with more than 80% of its land area below 1 meter above sea level. There are still numerous issues with the ocean that require immediate attention. Even though floating cities and offices are one approach to lessening the consequences of climate change on coastal towns, the World Economic Forum has launched the Friends of Ocean Action, a coalition of more than 70 ocean leaders who are stepping up efforts to develop a resilient ocean. Investments in zero-emission vessels and the restoration of mangrove habitats are a few of the strategies.